Ang lesson natin ngayon ay multiplication of integers. Sa multiplication of integers, ang kailangan lang nating tandaan ay titingnan lang natin kung magkapareho ba ang sign ng dalawang integer o magkaiba. So pag magkapareho, ang magiging sagot natin ay positive. Kung magkaiba naman ang signs, ang magiging sagot ay negative. Subukan natin. Sa letter A, 2 times 3. So take note na ang dot ay nagre-represent sa multiplication. So 2 times 3 is 6. Dahil magkapareho ng sign at parehong positive, ibig sabihin na magiging sagot ay positive. For letter B, negative 2 times negative 3. Still, pareho pa rin ang sign, kaya magiging sagot ay positive. And then 2 times 3 is 6. For letter C, negative 2 times positive 3. So, kung walang operation in between, pero may parenthesis, ang operation natin ay multiplication. So, negative 2 times 3, dahil magkaiba ng sign, ang sagot ay magiging negative. At 2 times 3 ay equal sa 6. So, the final answer is negative 6. For letter D, 2 times negative 3. So, dahil magkaiba pa rin ang sign ng dalawang integer, ang magiging sagot ay negative. And then 2 times 3 is 6. So, the final answer is negative 6. Subukan naman natin kung meron tayong maraming factors. Negative 2 times negative 3 times negative 4. So, take note, ng dalawang negative, ang magiging sagot ay positive. At positive times negative ay magiging negative. So, ang final answer natin dapat ay magiging negative. And then 2 times 3 is 6 times 4 is 24. So, we're going to have negative 24. For letter F, 2 times negative 3 times negative 4. So, again, ang negative times negative ay positive. And positive times positive is still positive. So, therefore, 2 times 3 times 4 is 24. The final answer should be 24. For letter G, negative 4 times negative 3 times negative 2 times 2. So, we have negative times negative is positive. Negative times positive is negative. And positive times negative is negative. So, pag magkapareho ang sign, ang magiging sagot ay positive at pag magkaiba naman ay magiging negative. So, ang final answer natin dapat ay magiging negative. So, i-times lang natin ang absolute values. 4 times 3 is 12. And then 2 times 2 is 4. 12 times 4 will become 48. So, the final answer should be negative 48 dahil kinuha natin ang sign kanina, which is negative. Sa letter H, the cube of negative 2 times negative 3. So, ano ba ang ibig sabihin ng cube ng negative 2? Ang ibig sabihin nito ay gagamitin nating factors ang negative 2 ng 3 beses. So, ulitin natin ito ng 3 beses at kukopyahin lang natin ang negative 3. And then, we're going to multiply as usual. So, negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2, it will become negative 8. Bakit negative 8? 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8. At dahil ang negative times negative ay positive, at positive times negative is still negative. So, therefore, we're going to have negative 8 times negative 3. So, 8 times 3 is 24. At dahil pareho ng sign, ang magiging sagot ay positive. So, the final answer should be positive 24. Sa letter I, the square of negative 7 times the fifth power of negative 1. So, ganun pa rin. Gagamitin naman natin ng 2 beses ang negative 7 as a factor. So, negative 7 times negative 7 is positive 49 dahil mayroon tayong 2 negative. Ang negative 1 naman ay gagamitin ng 5 beses as a factor. So, 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 is still 1. at meron tayong 5 negative. So may isang walang kapares na negative, kaya magiging sagot ay negative 1. Next, we have 49 times negative 1. Magkaiba ng sign, kaya ang sign natin ay magiging negative. So 49 times 1 is 49. So the final answer is negative 49. Sa letter J naman, we have the square of negative 9 plus the square of negative 4. So pareho pa rin. Gamitin as a factor ang negative 9 ng 2 beses at gamitin din as a factor ang negative 4 ng 2 beses. And then we're going to have negative 9 times negative 9 is positive 81. Copy the plus. Negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. 81 plus 16 is 97. So final answer is 97. For letter K, the negative of the cube of 3 minus the square of 2. So take note na ang cube natin ay para lang sa 3. So hindi kasama ang negative. So therefore, we're going to have the negative and then we're going to use 3 as a factor 3 times. And then as for the 4, we're going to multiply it to itself. So, pag pinag-times ang 3 times 3 times 3, ito ay magiging 27. And then, kokopyahin lang ang negative na nasa unahan. So, magiging answer natin ay negative 27. Next, copy the minus sign. And 4 times 4 is 16. So, mapapansin, ang magiging operation na natin ngayon ay subtraction. So, ima-minus natin. Paano ba mag-minus? Copy the negative 27. Minus ay magiging plus. At 16 ay magiging negative 16. So, kinuha natin ang additive inverse ng 16. And then, proceed to addition. Dahil may parehong sign, ipag-a-add lang ang absolute value. 27 plus 16 is 43. And then, copy the sign which is negative. So, the final answer should be negative 43. For letter L, the cube of negative 2 minus the square of negative 4. So, ganun pa rin ang gagawin. Gagamitin as a factor ang negative 2 ng 3 beses at gagamitin naman as a factor ang negative 4 ng 2 beses. So, negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. Copy ang minus sign at negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. So, take note na meron tayong subtraction. Sa subtraction, copy lang muna ang minuend. Ang minus ay magiging plus at gagamitin ang additive inverse ng 16 which is negative 16. In addition, kapag magkapareho, i-add lang ang absolute value. So we have 8 plus 16 is 24 at magkaparehong negative kaya ang final answer is negative 24. For letter M, the quantity of negative 1 closed quantity raised to 97 minus the quantity negative 1 closed quantity raised to 400 is actually equal to the following. Ang unang term natin ay magiging negative 1. Dahil meron tayong 97 na 1 which will give us 1 at meron tayong 97 na negative so may isang walang kapares kaya magiging negative. And then, copy the minus. And then, sa second naman, meron tayong 400 na negative 1. So, 1 times 1 times 1 up until the 401 would still give us 1. At dahil meron tayong 400 na negative, lahat ay may kapares, kaya ang sagot ay magiging positive 1. So, sa subtraction, ang gagawin lang, kopyahin ang negative 1. Ang minus ay magiging plus at ang 1 ay magiging negative 1. So, negative 1 plus negative 1 is equal to negative 2. So, the final answer is negative 2. Subukan natin sagutan ang mga sumusunod. For number 1, what is the product of negative 2 times negative 3? So, pag sinabi nating product, ito ay ang sagot sa multiplication. So, ita-times lang natin negative 2 times negative 3. So, tandaan natin na kung walang operation sa pagitan at meron lang tayong parenthesis o kaya naman ay dot, ibig sabihin ito ay magiging multiplication. Dahil magkapareho ang sign ng integers, ang magiging sagot ay positive. And then 2 times 3 is 6. So, the final answer is 6. For number 2, what is 4 more than thrice 5? So, alamin muna natin ang mga symbols. Ang what ay ang blank, ang is ay ang equal, meron tayong 4, more than ay plus, thrice ay 3 times, at meron din tayong 5. So, tandaan na meron tayong keyword na than. Kung meron tayong keywords na to, from, and than, ito ay magbabaliktad. So, sa halip na magkakaroon tayo ng blank equals 4 plus 3 times 5, ang mangyayari ay magiging 3 times 5 plus 4. So, ang equation na natin ngayon ay magiging blank is equal to 3 times 5 plus 4. So, i-multiply lang natin. 3 times 5 ay 15 and then copy plus 4. 15 plus 4 is 19. So, the final answer is 19. For number 3, by how much is the product of negative 2 and 4 less than the product of negative 5 and negative 3? Alamin muna natin ang mga symbols. How much is blank? Is ay equal. The product, ibig sabihin ay imumultiply ang negative 2 at 4. Less than ay minus. Product, ibig sabihin, imumultiply ang negative 5 at negative 3. May keyword din tayo na than. Kaya babaliktarin natin ang product ng negative 5 and negative 3 at ang product of negative 2 and 4. So, sa halip na magkakaroon tayo ng blank is equal to negative 2 times 4 minus negative 5 times negative 3. Mauuna muna ang product ng negative 5 and negative 3 bago ang product ng negative 2 and 4. So, ang equation natin ay blank is equal to negative 5 times negative 3 minus negative 2 times 4. I-multiply natin ang negative 5 times negative 3. Ito ay equal sa 15. Copy ang minus sign. At ang negative 2 times 4 ay negative 8. Sa subtraction, kokopyahin muna ang minuend. Ang minus ay magiging plus. At kukunin ang additive inverse ng subtrahend. So magkakaroon tayo ng positive 8. 15 plus 8 is 23. So the final answer is 23. Sana naintindihan ang multiplication of integers.